And a big good morning, good afternoon to everybody. Got ESPN Prime out here. It's your boy Prof on the ones and twos. Gonna have a live podcast for you. About 5 minutes here. 24/7 Piff is my guest today. It's gonna be an exciting conversation. I got a lot to talk about on the pod here, so I hope you relax, have some leftovers, enjoy it. Gonna be with you for the next hour or so here talking some 2K, some SL2K hoops, so stay with us. What up, though, to Tone Corleone, the Godfather? I see you out there, man. Nice wins for your Elite Pack squad last night as well. Just happy to get you on the SL2K live feed there. Some action for the Elite Pack. Happy to see you guys in the league, too. SSWI in here. Appreciate y'all, man. Gonna have some fun talking to Piff in a couple of minutes here, so stay with us. Enjoy the tunes. Thank you to That One Rich on the follow. Appreciate that. Thank you to OG Rick on the sub last night. We had a great stream. Make sure you check out the archive if you missed it. We did a marathon 5-hour stream. We covered a lot of different teams. We covered Wrecking Crew, Moltres. Saw the Night Owls for a little bit. Watched them. Got to see Most Wanted for the first time. Got to see Elite Pack TV doing work. And we even covered a WR matchup. So make sure you go check that out. Team Caution against Elevate. They played a great game. We got to cover it live for you with full commentary. I am Vandy and the crew. Make sure you go check it out. SL2K Live in full effect. We'll be back later tonight as well. Covering more action. Going to do a WR live stream as well, so looking forward to that. Make sure you follow WR's Twitch, WR Pro-Am League. I'll definitely be going live from there as well throughout the season. Some live coverage. Got a couple of minutes here before we get Piff in the building. I got some gameplay footage queued up as well for you, so you're going to enjoy some gameplay while you listen to the pod. Watch 24/7 Piff in full HD, so you can enjoy that. It's part of the simulcast that we offer here. The podcast along with some gameplay for your viewing pleasure. Hope you guys are having a great weekend out there. What up, though, Inc.? There's our sponsor, presenting sponsor of SL2K Live. Appreciate you. We're doing the podcast simulcast. Appreciate Inc. for stopping by, showing support, doing great work around the community always with his Inc. My Swag Entertainment brand. Have an interesting convo coming right up for you. 24/7 Piff, the MVP, Season 2. A couple of MVPs in the building. Feel free to drop your comments when the dialogue happens regarding the conversation you hear. Would love to hear your feedback. I'll be watching the chat as we talk here. So the topic list, we're going to hit on the WR affiliation a little bit. We're going to talk about some of the teams that may not have lived up to expectations. Going to also talk about teams that have lived up to expectations. Also got some drama to cover. A little drama happened with the Night Owls. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Of course, Piff fully involved in that process, so got to touch on what happened with the Night Owl squad and that transition. Appreciate your comments in the chat for your support of SL2K Live. We're out here. A Saturday afternoon. Hope everybody's enjoying the big game. Gonna give you a little distraction if you're on the wrong end of it like me. Got about another minute or so, we'll get into the broadcast here. Once again, I appreciate everybody for hanging out. Got about 30 seconds left. We're going to get into the SL2K podcast, episode 6 of season 2. Special guest, 24/7 Piff the Legend. So I hope you enjoy it. Drop your comments in the chat. Let me know what you think about the conversation, any opinions that you may have. We'll have some fun here, SL2K Live. Hope you enjoy the show. Hey, what up, though? Welcome to the SL2K podcast. I'm your host, Prophecy, commissioner of SL2K Pro-Am. You can reach us on Twitter at SL2K Pro-Am, and you can reach me at my new handle on Twitter at Prophecy_WR_SL, of course, for Spotlight Pro-Am League. I want to shout out our sponsors, SSWI Game Nation. Make sure to check out their pod coming up every Sunday. I believe it's 7:30, 8-ish, around then. Mr. Clutch, Sir Panda, always doing big things with some great work featuring games of the week, highlighting members of their great community through multiple platforms and games. So make sure you check them out, and shout out to Clutch and Panda doing a great job representing and showing love around the community. Also want to shout out Pre-Made Designs. Make sure you go to Pre-Made on Twitter and check out their logo work and use SL2K at checkout to get a 10% off your purchase there. So thanks to Pre-Made for that. Also want to shout out Flux Sticker, our official sponsor. For all your sticker needs, you can use SL2K at checkout for a great discount on sticker purchases. And I also want to thank Next Level, presenting sponsor of the SL2K podcast and our affiliate league WR Pro-Am. So that brings me to our esteemed guest. The MVP is back in the building. It's been a couple weeks since we talked to him, but he's a recurring guest on the pod. We love to have him on to discuss all the ongoings around the league. He's very knowledgeable, of course, watches all the streams, shows a lot of support. So we got the man, the legend, the myth, 24/7 Piff. What up, Delmay?
What up, Prof? Happy Turkey Day, man.
Yeah, happy Turkey Day, dude. We're doing this live here on Thursday, 12:30. About to get into the food and enjoy our families and stuff, but we thought we'd talk some 2K and dish on some stuff going on around the scene. So Piff, we talked a little bit before we went on here, but we wanted to get into first the amazing news about PMM finally working. The update finally arrived, the hot fix that everybody was anticipating or wondering if it was ever going to come, myself included. We finally got it. It seems like it's working, man. Like I see all around the community, even in WR League, you know, they're having hundreds of games every day being played that are all private match makes in the team arenas. So what do you think about that, man? Have you had the same degree of success? Is it working for you all the time? Any hiccups? What's going on?
The only thing I've seen, honestly, is once in a very rare while, you'll load in the game and one of your players would have gotten kicked, like one of your teammates. But
Yeah,
that's just, you know, it's not a 1, 2, 3 anymore. So it's just, you know, okay, load back in the arena, do it again, and everything's fine. Like at most, it'll take you 5 minutes to get a match.
That's
so
amazing.
2K, thumbs up to you for that, man.
Yeah, big thumbs up. Huge for the community and obviously huge for leagues around the scene, and us included, because we changed our format. Excuse me. We changed our format to matchups only. So to get this just in time for our league starting, we announced the opening day, November 30th. You know, I was kind of ready to push through and just kind of go forward trying to get the matchups the old way, or, you know, whatever the case may be. And they kind of blessed us with this amazing update where it's all of a sudden it was working. I went on Twitter one day and you see the explanation points and the tweets about it, and, you know, confirmed that it's true. And lo and behold, all these league games are happening. Pardon me. And PMM is working, man. So we're excited to get things rolling. Remember, SL2K is going to be matchups only for the foreseeable future. I don't anticipate that changing for season 3 or anytime soon. We got some great competitive teams in the league. We're really coming up as far as our tier. I think Piff would agree with that. So let's talk about that a little bit. We got some top 100 teams. No jumpers in the top 100. They've had an amazing start. They're like 126-10, I think, last time I checked. Moltres, NGA, your team, Piff, SSWI. So let's talk about that. Just some of the success that you've seen from SL2K as a league, just kind of on the come up out there and playing in the comp tournaments, playing more out there in the scene, being more visible and representing SL2K. What do you think about that?
Well, it's so nice because and honestly, it's hats off to you, brother, because you gave a lot of these guys that had talent that original platform to step onto. And, they couldn't get on some WR teams or MPBA teams because they didn't have a big enough name for themselves. And, you kind of link guys together, you link teams together, you taught them how to manage, you taught them how to submit. And from that, people kind of took off and grew. And, it was bound to happen. But now you got, from these people, hey, that's a no comp league. I literally seen that posted last year, and it bothered me. Like, I think Mr. Lefty made a post, and somebody tweeted back to him like, "Yo, why are you playing in this like nobody league? Like they have nobody playing there." And that was kind of like, in a way, it was degrading. But
Yeah.
that come up when SL2K started. And there were no stars out there, and, everybody was on the come up, and now there's a bunch of top 100 teams really competing, and even some branched off to make other top 100 teams with other players that they met through whatever sources. You got Brooks out there on Copyrighted, who's, it's not an official SL2K team, but if anybody is a SL2K player, it's Brooks. Like,
right.
Brooks has been there since day one. Like, I played in the first All-Star game with him. So, all of us kind of flourished and grew, and it's all because of the platform you made, and all these guys really needed was that outlet to really step their game up. So, it's great. Like, this little thing people were calling No Comp League has a bunch of comp teams in it now.
Exactly, and they're playing in the comp leagues, and they're doing it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more that can be said when you're representing on the court, and it's not every team. We still offer the platform. I mean, you bring up the platform being offered to players, and it's still available to players with less experience, and that may not be at that level of that tier yet. And we still love to have those teams as well that want to work hard and grow their brand and start somewhere. And that's what Brooks did. That's what Cool Breeze did. We talk about them a lot. And a lot of other teams in our league are still on that come up phase. And it's nice to see just kind of that cream rise a little bit. And we've had some interest outside of the league as we've grown that's allowed us to kind of reel in a lot of these more upper echelon teams and have them participate in our league as well and have fun in our league as well. So it's just been a great perfect storm, I would say, of things happening in favor of us raising our competitive tier and being a more prominent part of the gameplay end instead of just kind of tweeting and having fun and doing highlight clips and being that kind of part of the scene. We're actually a competitive field now of teams, and any of our top teams could probably give a run to any of the top comp teams on any given night. I would say you put a team like No Jumper with Juan and J Rock and Reflex out there. They could give any of those teams a run for their money if they play well. They play their A game and they're on point and they're focused. I think they could give those teams a run for sure. So we'll see that more as the 2K19 cycle goes on. We'll see hopefully more comp tournaments happening and more of the SL2K teams involved, and hopefully getting some challenges with the private matchmaking. Maybe have some exclusive matchups across leagues, and we can really prove our point that we're out here and we're representing, man. So let's flip it, though. Let's flip the script, Piff, and let's keep it 100. Not every team is out there doing damage and taking names. There's some teams that maybe have fallen a little bit below expectations. So that's fodder for discussion, of course, on the podcast as well. So who do you think maybe hasn't had as strong a start as you expected, or who hasn't really torn through the competition in the early going? Would you say there's any teams in particular like that?
Okay, so we're not going to say that they're not doing well. We'll just say that they got a slow start into 2K19 as of now, because we don't want to talk negative to the boys. So first and foremost, my number one call on this is Wrecking Crew, man. Like, and no, nothing bad to them. Like, I like them. Like, I like J-Bed. Like, I became cool with them over the All-Star weekend. But watching their game grow at the end of 18, I expected them to come into 19 with, like, running, like, wheels on the ground, going. And they seem to kind of being stuck in this stutter step, looking for players, their center C's and them currently split. Not on bad terms. I've seen them both talk about it. It was best for both of them. But you got key players making different builds now, and that kind of like, I was expecting you guys to start out a little harder at the beginning of this. Another one out here, and I mostly know the PlayStation teams. I check in on the Xbox, but I couldn't tell you all their teams. Um, Next up is Cool Breeze, man. Millie, where are you at, man? Like you guys were like kind of like my frenemies, because we all got in this together, like season one, and we had the better record season one, and then we caught you out there 2K Plus tournament in season two, and that was great games, and I expected you guys to stay even level with what we're doing. And Brooks kind of took his own direction, and Brooks hit our top 100 team, and we kind of just pushed forward, and we got that top 100 team, and you guys are barely on 14 games played. Like, what's going on, Millie? You got to step this up. And this is like a friendly call out on you. It's nothing but love because, we're in the parties together. But it's really time, like, yo, show me what the Cool Breeze is going to do this season, man.
Yeah,
and then let me see.
Oh, you got more?
Of course, I always got more. This is maybe my favorite guy in the league right here. Let me tell you. Zoo the God. Zoo the God.
Zoo the God, yes.
Yeah, I love the guy, man. The guy puts out a ton of stuff. But the guy calls out everybody, which I guess in a way I respect. But at some point, you got to get your team right before you're trying to call out these big names. Like, I'm seeing the box scores, 8 turnovers. I'm seeing the box scores shooting under 50%. One day you're a center, one day you're a point guard. And you gotta kind of focus that team in and get settled and get right before you really gonna call out these monsters. Because at the end of the day now, like, you kind of represent all of us at a point. You know what I mean? If somebody puts it out there, yo, I'm a SL2K, blah, blah, blah. You're kind of representing all of us, this entire league. So if you're going to go out there and represent, you're going to have to represent right, or else it's going to be back to that whole thing. Oh, these guys are not counting, these guys. And I really could care less because, I'm out there proving myself day in, day out.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to be the same on all four fronts. So, maybe before you call out the bigger names and, just randomly like, hey, I want you 3-game series.
I see those, yeah, I saw those.
Yeah, get that team right. Like, get that team really dialed in. Take a little time, get focused, kind of figure out what you guys are doing, what your role is, and then you could start going at people's necks.
Well, it's good that they have that fire, that competition. They want, they want the smoke, so to speak. So that's a good thing, I think. But I hear what you're saying in general. You do want to be representative, and have that class when you're out on social media for sure. And you want to be out there being respectful to fellow players. You can have your opinions, of course. Everybody has their opinions, and it's good to keep that competitive fire going and keep the competition juices going for sure. But yeah, there's a line that you got to draw, and you got to always remember what you're representing as far as SL2K. So I agree with your point there for sure. But shout out to Zoo to God, man. He's one of the great representatives for sure, and he has been because he's super active. He was an all-star last year. He put up like 30 a game at one point last year. He was having a great season, and he's been working really hard to try to get that brand together. So I see him out there doing that. It is a process. It is hard and frustrating sometimes, and like it brings your emotions out sometimes. And that's fine. So I appreciate the passion about Zoo to God for sure. So I want to mention that too before we go on here. So let's move with the SL2K WR merger because we haven't had I don't want to say merger. Affiliation is a better word because they have their own thing going on. We have our own thing going on, but we're kind of working together now as leagues and affiliate leagues. So we haven't had a chance to really go into that. I wanted to pick your brain on kind of what your thoughts were on that whole thing and that whole situation because it kind of came out of nowhere. We got kind of the conversation going, and it evolved very quickly, and it turned into a collaborative partnership. So, tell me about what you thought when you saw that, Piff. What you thought it might benefit for SL2K and how it might benefit WR.
Oh man, like first off, I was just like, wow. Well, first I seen all the team lineups for this season we're going into, and I've seen a lot more competitive teams. I've seen teams that I've seen in WR before, and then to see the merger, I'm like, wow. Prof really put his work in to link up with the I would have to say probably the biggest league in for 2K, and they must have recognized your work and jumped aboard. So now this season, it might not, I can't say it won't roll over much, but you're going to see a lot more teams wanting to get in because of the affiliation.
Right.
And
It's already kind of happened.
yeah, I could believe, I'm sure you get 100 teams every day. We want to be in SL2K.
Yeah.
But
Right.
unfortunately, our doors are closed for this season because, it is the first season we're running private matchmaking, and, we want to make sure it goes smoothly and keep it as it's always been because we've had great seasons so far.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so, that the promotion of players, it opens up so much more doors for everybody. It was just a great move. Like, as long as we could keep our identity as what we are, it's sky's the limit from there. It's just a great door that opens.
Yeah, that's the nice thing is they're kind of letting me steer the ship of SL2K still. Obviously, they've let me be involved a lot more in WR operations. They named me the commissioner of the PS4 Original League, which I thought was very humbling. And having not worked with them before to get a role like that right off the bat was, I think, spoke a lot of volumes about how they feel about our league and our community and the things we've done in the last 8 months. So that's a shout out to everybody too. I mean, you guys it comes back on me a lot, but it's because of the instructions being followed. It's because of the execution being done out there in the community. You guys are buying in and you guys are going out there and doing it and having fun. So it's everybody collaborating together and it's been beneficial to everybody. And I'm going to tell you exactly, Piff, what we're getting out of this deal with WR. You guys are getting an enhanced SL2K experience. I mean, this isn't just, all right, we're going to get some Twitter clout by being affiliated with WR. You got a whole website coming at you. I'm building it right now. You got a whole website. We're getting our own branch off the WR web portal. So you're going to have your own individual player pages. I can put any information you want on those pages, highlights. You're going to have your stats on those pages. You're going to have standings live in real time right on the website. So everything that we've always kind of had lacking, where I've had to kind of piggyback that work and kind of do that bulk workload and kind of get that stuff up and out there for you, all that stuff's going to be live in real time for you. So that's an amazing, amazing thing that WR is doing for us as a league. So I always want to make sure that the SL2K family embraces WR and supports them, because that was a huge, huge benefit. That's something that costs, number one. And that's something that is going to be a hugely engaging and interactive thing. And exposure for you guys is going to be booming, because now you can take your Twitter pages and you can go on your SL2K website and you can clip any of your stats. You can say, all right, I'm averaging this many points, I'm doing this and that. And, I can put all that information, your availability on the web page. I can put anything on there. I can put your highlights. So it's just an amazing thing. All the online real-time stats is going to be awesome for the league. So it's going to come with a couple of changes too. Obviously, we changed our format slightly this season since I last announced the format officially. We had it like 47 game schedule, but I scaled that back because we're going to do 2 times each opponent. We're going to kind of model it after the WR. I want to try to emulate a lot of the things they do as far as format, so our teams can get acclimated to a more comp environment and what they do. So if they want to play WR, they're prepared for it and ready to go. So we're going to play twice per opponent for official box score submissions. And you guys are going to do that on Discord channels now. That's where all the logging is going to be done. It's going to be a little more organized for me instead of on Twitter, so I can get those box scores done and logged in on the site a little bit more quickly, and have access to them a little bit more rapidly when I need them, just by searching in the terms on the Discord. So I can say, all right, Team SSWI versus Team Night Owls game 1. I can just search that, and then it'll come up on Discord immediately with your box score if I ever needed that info, or if I ever needed to confirm it was logged, anything like that. So it's just going to make things a lot easier. So I need you guys to be on point with that. There's going to be a PS4 channel for screenshots, and there's going to be an Xbox channel. Boom. And that's all I want in there is box scores. That's it. Just properly label them and post them, just like you would post them on your Twitter. Same thing, just in a Discord chat. So that's a big deal. The other thing is the 30th. I just wanted to mention that, Piff, is the opening date. We got the 30th coming up real soon. So that's like a week and a half. I'm going to have the website done by then. So I want everybody to start understanding, get in the Discord for information. That's where I'm posting it. And be ready to go when the season starts. We got our matchup room ready already. Teams are utilizing it. I've seen a lot of matchups go down in those rooms. A lot of people communicating, so that's great. So I want all the owners to do that. So Discord's a big part of season 3 moving forward. So that's all I really had about the WR SL2K stuff going on. We're going to continue doing the highlights. Everything that you see with WR as far as like the game of the night and stuff like that, I'm going to do stuff like that for SL2K as well. I mean, that's not just stuff I plan on doing for WR. So you guys are going to get that whole experience as well. You've seen the team of the week stuff that I did. You saw some of the YouTube presentations I did. All that stuff's going to continue, man. I love SL2K. That's my baby. I'm not going anywhere with that, regardless of my role with WR. So I just wanted to shout those guys out, Lux and Ev and everybody in Nap and Luke and all the people in Bob, everybody representing WR. I appreciate all y'all, man, and thanks for embracing me. So anyways, let's turn the corner again. We've went from positive to negative thing, kind of. We went from positive to kind of less friendly conversation. Let's talk about the night owl situation, man. This is a tough one. We had some crap go down, Piff. We had some crap go down with the night owls, I would say. So let's get into that convo. We got to address it. Obviously, I'm sure everybody out there is wondering why I have a new team with the night owls, like new players around me. So Piff, go ahead. I know you got some stuff to say about that. I'm just going to give you the floor here. I did my little monologue about SL2K. So go ahead and go in with what you wanted to address, because you were the coach of the night owls. You kind of formed our team. So you have a part in this. You're invested into it as well, this whole process. So let me hear your thoughts on what's transpired between what we've talked about and anything that you want to address.
Well, we're going to clear the air completely right here. You know, Drama King is in the building. We're going to go in. So let's start from the very beginning. So my boy Prof over here, you know, he helps us all out. And I seen him get left behind so many times by teams. And I didn't like the fact that the guy was running this league and he couldn't even play in it at some points. And it's not he couldn't play in it because, you know, he didn't have time. He couldn't play in it because his team left him or they started another team and left him behind. So, you know, I was like, yo, Prof, I'm going to build you a team this year. So I started getting pieces together for you. I grabbed Postman, who is a great guy. You know, he played with me last season. We grabbed K-Rod, number 1 3-point shooter in the league. We grabbed Big Rich King up. You know, we had a couple bench players, and they started it. And, you know, anytime you make a team, it's all just a building process. Now, somewhere along the line, I don't exactly know, but Rich King started going through some stuff. Prof didn't want to play point guard. He moved over to center, which I think is a great move because I've seen him play defense on the pick and roll, and I've complimented him more times than you know you can imagine. The guy plays a great pick and roll defense. So Man became part of the team because you guys needed a defender, and he was always talking about he wanted to be the guy to clamp up the point guards, and so we brought him aboard. So when Prof made the move to center, they were looking for a point guard, and Man brought Taz in to the chat. Taz and the Pigeons, and
my former Fab Five teammates, to be clear for the listeners who may not.
Yeah, they were his Fab Five teammates that left him to start their own team, but it really wasn't leaving him. It was more they changed the name of the team and kicked him out. It pretty much seemed like because everybody stayed together, but they left Prof behind. So as soon as I seen this, and I talked to Taz, I tell Taz myself, I have no problems with him. I don't like what he did to Prof. Man brings him in, and I tell him, like, yo, dude, like, who are you to do this? Like, we didn't discuss anything, you just did this. Oh, Prof is cool with this. Prof is cool with this. Prof is cool with this. I talked to Prof. He is, yeah, I'm okay with it. You know, because Prof is a super nice guy. For any of you guys who don't really know this guy, and get to, you know, I have the pleasure of talking to him. He's a super nice guy, forgiving guy. And, at that point, I pretty much told Man, and this is straight up exactly what I told him. I told him, this is on you. You guys are either going to sink or swim, and it's on you at this point. So, of course, now, a month later, Taz, Pigeon, Man, they all left and started their own team. And Pop's back, which luckily he had his boys to jump in with. But again, they've left him behind. And that's yeah. To me, it's not cool. Prop is all right with it. He even gave them a spot in the league. I called for a dismissal of him. Like, I'll keep it 100% with everybody. Just so everybody knows, I don't think any of you should be playing in the league this season. I don't think you have the right to. Like, I think there's 1,000 more deserving teams out there than any of you. I'm pretty sure you had teams in this league and you didn't finish seasons. You didn't finish a season. So on my behalf, we should be picking up other teams that want to come in, that are hungry, that are ready to finish a season. And of course, right now to you, like, yeah, you say you're going to do it, but I've seen otherwise. Like, I've seen what your teams have done. I've seen you not finish a season. I've seen you try to be picked up by other teams just to finish a season. So let me say this graciously, like, you guys are lucky Prof is a nice dude, because I would not let you be balling out here. Like that, and that's just facts. Like, I don't do the whole snake in the grass thing, the whatever. And if you're gonna build something with somebody, like, build. You want to go start something else? That's what you do. But how are you gonna build something with them, then leave them? Because there were a lot of disagreements between Prof and Man. Like, I've been out of this situation for months now. How are you gonna leave this man and then ask him for a team in his league?
Well, there you go. That's fine. No, that's fine. That's why I brought you on, because you're a recurring guest, and that's part of what you do, is you offer your opinions. I've some different perspectives, and Piff and I don't see eye to eye on this in full regard. I understand where Piff's coming from for sure, but being involved in the situation, I have a little bit different of a read on it, and I don't want to call anybody out on any particular things, but let's just say that this conversation speaks to team chemistry more than anything else. And it's important to have great team chemistry both on and off the court. I think that's a big thing that goes under the radar with a lot of teams, is just that chemistry element. You can be the best players, you can have all the skills on the sticks, you can do all the right things, but if that just the personality mix, you know what I mean, that can be a big thing too, and that can impact teams when things get bad, or there's turmoil, or there's losses. Those kind of things tend to harbor and manifest. And I think there was a desire to be a certain competitive tier on their end, and that's fine, and I respect that. And I don't have any problem with them envisioning their team a certain way, or with a certain lineup, or with certain roles. And I understand that. So I want to clear the air and say that it wasn't anything to do with a lot of the individuals that are mentioned. I love Taz, I love Pidge, I love those guys. They're friends of mine. I still, I have friendships with them, and I plan on having friendships with them going forward. It's a good situation with that. They're very supportive of me, and I appreciate that. So shout out to those guys, and Fly and all them guys, Toronto Bucket Ballers. I hope they have a good season, and I'll be supporting them. And I'm happy that I have my new Night Owl squad with VZ and with my guy Rob. These guys are my friends. They're my buddies that I've known from way back 10 years of playing 2K with. So it's a very comfortable environment for me. It's a situation that's for the best, probably for everybody. So that kind of stuff happens when the chemistry doesn't necessarily mesh well together with the personalities. And I think that was why we wanted to bring this up on the podcast today, because we're going into 2K19. We're going into season 3. The L's are going to happen, yo. The L's are going to happen. Teams are going to take them. Every team thinks they're the best, and then you get into comp play, and you get into the league play, and then you start taking L's, and you're 0-5 or you're 0-6, and then you need chemistry, right? You need to be able to get along through those times and build and grow. Like Piff said, you need to be able to evolve and grow your team and get better to where you want to accomplish your goals. Through that chemistry process, things can happen and it doesn't always work out. So that's what I feel is kind of the situation with the former Night Owls or the former Fab Five, whatever you want to call us. I would love to play with those guys in the future. To be honest, it wasn't the right time right now, and that's totally fine. And it was kind of a dramatic situation, sure, but that's just what it is when you have a poor chemistry element involved. But it wasn't anything that I want to disrespect those guys or anything like that. That's why I gave them a spot in the league. I want K Rod to shine. I want Post to shine. I really respect those guys as players too. I want Taz to get an opportunity. He's done great things at point guard, improving his game this last couple of years. So those guys deserve a shot, I think, to make their goals happen, regardless of any personality fights that occur or anything that goes on with our team over the course of a couple of weeks. I think in the bigger picture, it's important to include people that are driven and that want to succeed and will represent the league well. And I hope those guys continue to do that. So that's all I have regarding the Night Owl situation. But shout out to the new Night Owls, the ABA Night Owls, yo. ABA for life, man. I'm excited about VZ, the lockdown. Make sure you check out his stream, Vizarito. He's going to be a really funny character in the league. He reminds me of you, Piff, kind of. He's a buddy of mine going from way back. Very outspoken, guy that's really funny to listen to as well with his comments and his opinions, really quick. With his wit and stuff like that. So shout out to VZ. Shout out to Rob at Point. I'm looking forward to Piff, hopefully working with Rob here and you guys maybe picking each other's brains about point guard position. And hopefully I can build a networking connection with you guys because I think you guys would get along really well too, being New York guys. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited about the Night Owls, man. Catch us on the stream. We're 16-1 on our new court, so we're balling. I've been bringing Ben Wallace back out, so it's been a lot of fun, man. I'm having a lot of fun hooping, so it's no worries, man. I wanted everything to be positive in the league, and although there was maybe a negative situation that happened, it turned into a positive thing, I think, for both sides. So that's the final point that I wanted to make on that and the Night Owl situation. So let's talk about the combine. We'll move into more 2K related talk here, Piff, as we go forward in the podcast here. Talk about your qualifiers. First of all, let's get into your game a little bit. We talked about kind of league stuff and league news. Let's go into the Piff experience here, man. How's your qualifier going? What's your record looking like? Win percentage? And how did you approach that last month here of the qualifying process?
The qualifiers, just to be honest, were very easy because me and my boys, my team, we just balling. I seen a lot of people doing it in the rec center. I think I played like 5 to 10 games in the rec center, but for the most part, we played all team ball and just took our team from wherever we were to number 64. And that kind of just got all our games. I think I'm sitting at like 129, 130 games right now with like an 89 win percentage. And that's counting all the first week of WR that we, before private matchmaking was fully immersed and we were all just matching up at a certain time. So I think I'm sitting pretty well as far as.
Okay, so what tips would you give to other players out there? You're sitting pretty, but what if somebody's grinding out there? How should they approach their combine experience? What should they do to have a more successful time trying to qualify for the 2K League?
Okay, now the combine is a different headache all in itself. So first thing, go in there very calm. I really think like if 2K could do anything for us in the combine, it would be some kind of mic regulation. But they don't. So just know, first and foremost, you're getting in there, and almost every single team you're going to play on, you're going to hear kids crying in the back. You're going to hear people talking through speaker mics, camera mics. And as you guys know, gameplay volume is a lot louder than when you're in a private party.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe take that into consideration. Work your sound settings in before you go, because that right there is an annoying. Second thing. Know your role. I know everybody wants to go out there and put up the big numbers. I promise you W's count more than stats. Be a good teammate and play your role. Let that point guard run the floor, whoever he or she may be. Let them floor general. I played a lot of games last year where you'd have 4 people cutting to the basket at the same time. And that's not what you want to deal with. That's not what you want to be a part of. You want to show, especially if you're really going for that lead, you want to show them that you're a real team player and you could take direction and give direction. So give your input when it's needed and take direction when you can. That's a real strength of a player that a lot don't have. So, if you know you're a center and you know you're supposed to be setting the picks, set those picks. If you pick a build that, you primarily have to go to the rim for, but you have 3 or 4 more of those players on your team, speak it out with them so you guys maybe take turns. Maybe one time somebody sets the pick for the back door. Maybe next time somebody sets the pick and somebody else rolls. However it is, don't be cluttered. Don't be under each other. Make sure this is a big thing. Make those switches on defense. You know how bad it is when you're a little 6'4", 170-pound point guard and you're getting rocked by that glass cleaner and that pick and that shark is wrapping and nobody's there to pick that up? Like, really focus on what your role is going to be and what you need to do, and that's what you go out there and do. If you're a point guard, like myself, I'm going in as a point guard this year, and I tell you, point guard is the worst position this year. You have 6'10" locks breathing down your neck, and there's a lot of locks in the combine. All those small forward builds all have defender in them. So don't think you're getting an easy one like last year. Set out your focus. As soon as you go in the game, talk to the teammates that you have. See what their strengths are. See what they want to do. See what they're good with, and try to pick a plan. And even if you're not the point guard, talk it out with your point guard. What your plan is going to be. What you guys are going to do on defense. Who's making switches where? Who's rolling to the basket when? Who's setting the pick? Who's playing pick and pop? Really communicate. I know, and again, even though the mics are going to be atrocious, and
Right.
not everybody, but you're going to see 90% of lobbies you're going to get in, you're going to hear somebody with crying children in the back, or that really loud, echoey mic that, like, it makes me want to pull the hair out of my head. But just remember, stay calm. You're there. You're focused. You have a goal. You're looking to make something for yourself. You're looking to live a dream. And I'm telling you, dreams don't come easy. Like, people don't get on top by taking the easy road. You're going to have to work hard. So be ready to endure whatever happens. And, they set up a lot of windows. So if you're having that bad day, or you're already feeling a little ornery, or, maybe that's a day just to call it relax and just play with your boys in the park or in Pro-Am or something. You don't have to rush. Just make sure you get the right amount of games in and you're fine. If you have a bad game at a position that you chose, don't give up on it right away. Take a few games and see how you're feeling. I've seen friends do that a lot last year, They would go in, they'd play point guard, they'd have a bad game. Oh, I'm playing center. And they didn't get their games qualified. And then, you had a guy like Cryptic, my boy, my teammate, who went in there and played the same position, and he made the list. He got that phone call from them. He endured what he needed to endure. So just keep all that in mind when you're going in, and I really do wish everybody the best of luck. I would love to see some SL2K members make the 2K League, man. I'd be so proud of you guys.
No question, I agree, and I think there's a good chance that can happen. We have visibility, no question about that, and we have some hard workers in the league. We mentioned a few of them. Brooks is a candidate for sure that I could see potentially making a run. So good luck to everybody in the league and outside the league as well, and pursuing your goals and making the NBA 2K League through the Combine. That's going to be hosted very soon. It's coming up real quick, man, and I think all the points that you made, Piff, were excellent. I think the mental approach to things is just as big as the gameplay approach to things. And I think you brought up some important factors regarding the little annoyances that can happen. Think of it like playing in the rec. You know what I mean? That's kind of the experience you have playing in the rec. You get those, random teammates or what have you when you don't have 5 or whatever's happening on the other side that's chaotic regarding lockdown defenders being on the opposition if you're a point guard. So you got to pay attention. You got to communicate. You got to have a mapped out plan, how you're going to attack the zone, how you're going to attack pressure. Who's helping the ball handler get up the court, who's playing fullback, stuff like that. all those things that go into having a successful run, excuse me, in the combine. So all good points by Piff. I just wanted to mention one more thing regarding roster submission. I've been mentioning that on Twitter. The deadline is Friday. Before we get out of here, I want to mention that. So that's coming up tomorrow. You want to get your roster submitted. We're just about complete. I think just about all the teams have them in, but there are a couple outliers that haven't got them submitted. And I will move forward immediately because we're getting this website up and I'm not delaying. We're going forward with season 3 on the 30th, and I'm going to have active, ready to go teams in place. So, I mean, that's just what it's going to be. So if you don't have your stuff done, I'm going to move on, and I don't expect to hear anything about it after that. That's going to be my hardcore commissioner stance on that issue. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I know Piff's excited. 11:30 is coming up very, very soon. Just a few short days away. I got a new streaming rig coming out too as well this weekend. It's going to be delivering. So the SL2K live broadcasts are about to get enhanced in a major way with very smooth resolution, very smooth presentation, a lot more features. We can do Skype. We can do all all the stuff to get people involved and included in those broadcasts that you can imagine. Make them as immersive as possible. So very exciting time for SL2K, very exciting time for the community with the Combine, things getting in full swing with competitive league play across the scene, a lot of tournaments going on as well. So the time to be a player is now. It's time to grind. Let's get out here. Let's ball. I appreciate Piff for coming out to the podcast once again. He's been a recurring guest multiple times, always showing love, hanging out with me, talking a little 2K and SL2K League stuff. So we'll have him on again real soon. Thanks again, Piff, for coming on. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving with your family, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. What do you got?
All right. My time to rant. Now, actually, I'm not gonna rant. But yo, everybody, check this out. So I have a sponsor, SSWI Game Nation, and I mean, these guys are super awesome. They sponsor SL2K along with my team. Panda and Clutch they are super supportive of me. Like, anytime I stream, in which I should be streaming more, and I will be soon, but anytime I stream, they're jumping in there. They're bringing people with them, just showing a bunch of love. But as we were climbing our ranks, as we should, Mr. Panda threw out a bet to me. And Panda said, yo, if you guys can go 100 wins before you take over 10 losses, we will eat Carolina Reapers on our show. Now, this whole thing came from because, they have their little goodies section, and I always used to tell Clutch, you guys got to eat Reapers, Reaper peppers. And, they kind of always brushed me off. So Panda threw the bet out there. Well, we won the bet, and as much as I love them as sponsors, Mr. Clutch and Panda have to eat Carolina Reapers on their next show, which will not be this Sunday. It will be next Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Time. And the whole thing I told them was, let's use this for a positive. I told them, if you guys are actually going to do this, and, probably, Mr. Clutch is going to burn a hole in his chest or something. But I told him, let's at least make sure you have 100 people live.
Oh, okay.
If you're going to torture yourself like this. So I'm calling out everybody on SL2K, any people that just check out the pod. You're going to see me promoting it all week. Next time that show comes out, not this Sunday coming up, the next Sunday, 7:30, tune in. Watch my man, Mr. Clutch, and watch Panda eat these Carolina Reapers. Watch their eyes get teary. Watch their nose run. I'm kind of hoping they'll do that whole dance segment after they eat them. Because, they got that whole little dance segment going on. I think that's my favorite part of the show. But yeah, everybody tune in. Stop in. Show some love. They're our league sponsor. They're my personal team sponsor. And these are just some good dudes. They even jump in other people's streams that I'm cool with. I'll be playing with Six one day on the team. 6 p.m. in New York. Shout out to him. If I'm not streaming, they see Six streaming now, they'll just jump in Six's stream and show love. These are just all around good dudes. So come out and show them support. Let's get them 100.
No doubt, man. I'll fully support that. I'll be promoting as well, man. I think that's a great goal. Let's get them 100. I know we got hundreds of people in the Discord chats, free agents included, that can all support that cause, and they're certainly deserving all the hard work that they put in. Clutch and Panda and SSWI Game Nation. Love to have them have 100 viewers in the stream. So let's make sure that happens. So good stuff, Piff, man. Thanks again for coming on. Again, have a happy Thanksgiving, you and your family there. I'll talk to you real soon, and we'll get up out of here on the SL2K podcast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in always and for all the support around the SL2K community. Have a great combine. We'll be back with another pod to kick off the opening weekend of SL2K here in a week or so. Coming up real soon. So enjoy all the content. And this is Prophecy signing off. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the SL2K podcast simulcast. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with 24/7 Piff the Legend. Talked about a lot of interesting topics there, and I appreciate everybody's comments and support of the stream. I want to shout out Ink My Swag Entertainment, presenting sponsor of SL2K Live. And you can catch this episode coming real soon on Anchor, also on Spotify and iTunes, and wherever you get your podcasts. So stay tuned tonight. We got more live 2K action. I'm going to go live from the WR Twitch to cover some of their action. You can catch me there. Also do a little bit of coast to coast, hopefully, at some point of the evening. Coast to coast, I should say. Had a little trouble spitting that one out. But hopefully I won't have any trouble tonight spitting out some stat lines. We'll get it going real soon. So I appreciate everybody's time. Have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll be back soon with SL2K Live.